Satnam. I want to share today the cornerstone of Kundalini Yoga. And it's called Sat Kriya. Sat Kriya. However, when we do the Kriya, it's actually more closely pronounced as Sat. And there's going to be a reason for that. When you have no time, but you still want to do something. When you want to have a maximum effect on your entire being, this is the thing to do. So, short on time, absolutely do this. You want to have a massive impact to make change within your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual body, 100%. This is what you want to do. It does not take a lot of time to do it, though it is challenging, as you're about to find out. So, I'll give you all the details in a second, but let's tune in. Every single Kundalini Yoga, Kriya, meditation all starts off with the same thing. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And if you've been watching these videos, you should know that by now. It's recited 3 times prior to the beginning. And why? Why do we do that? Well, simply, we do it for this reason. Because it creates a vibrational change in you so that you may absorb what it is that you're about to do. It kind of tunes you into the frequency of the radio station that you want to pay attention to. So we recite this. It's a gratitude, it's a thankfulness, it is a understanding that we can create change from an internal point of view instead of having all these external stimuli create our happiness. Okay, so sit tall, chest out, chin in, close your eyes, taking a nice long deep breath. Exhale. Taking a long deep breath, inhale. Exhale. And now breathe in to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Breathe in deep. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Om Inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deep. Hold the breath. Exhale. Okay, so there's a couple components to this Sat Kriya. Sat Kriya balances the in Kundalini Yoga, what we call the lower triangle, which represents the first 3 chakras. We call that the lower triangle. By bringing the energy upwards into what we call the upper triangle, which are the top 3 chakras. And then there's one that's in the middle. And I bet you can guess which one it is. It's our heart chakra. And you think about it, our heart chakra acts as that pivot point between the worldly and the etheric. And it's this rocking back and forth. And it's always this heart chakra that takes a beating. So this is a mantra-based Kriya. This is a pranayama-based Kriya. This is a everything Kriya. And again, if you're short on time, you have nothing to do, or don't know what to do, sit down, do this. You can do this as little as 3 minutes. And you can sequentially build your time up to 31 minutes with this. 3 minutes, you'll feel it's a bit of a challenge. And we'll do it between 3 and 5 minutes. I'm not going to time us for this one, but we'll do it between 3 and 5 minutes, something like that, so you can get it. Now, what's important with this is that you must rest. If you do just this one thing, you must rest for at least the same amount of time if you do it. So if you do it for 5 minutes, you must rest for 5 minutes. The real beauty will be if you can double the rest period. So how about that? So you actually struggle for a little bit doing it, but you get to rest for double the time. So if you did it for 5 minutes, you can rest for 10 minutes. But you must rest for at least the same amount of time that you did it so that you can absorb what it is that you do. Now, another thing with this is do not, because you're physically capable of doing it, don't push this Kriya. Start gently. Start with 3 minutes. Build up regularly. So you can do 3 minutes, and maybe you do, 3 minutes for an entire week, and then you do 4 minutes for the next week. Or you do 3 minutes today, maybe 4 minutes tomorrow, 5 minutes the next day, so forth and so on. But don't rush it. You're going to get to a point where you'll plateau. And 3 minutes is a great start. 11 minutes, fantastic. 31 minutes, it's ideal. So here's how it goes. There's a position of your hands, and it's a little bit different for men and women. So for women, what you're going to do is you're going to lock down your hands so that you cross your fingers, but you want to have your right pinky on the bottom. You're going to extend your index fingers, and ladies, you're going to take your left thumb and put it over the right. That's your position. Right pinky on the bottom, index fingers up, left thumb over the right. Guys, we're the exact opposite. Left pinky on the bottom, index fingers pointing straight up, right thumb over the left. Palms pressed together. Now this position, we're going to bring our arms up over our head, and you can see how my elbows bent. What's most important is that this position is up over your head. So if your arms can't stay straight because you just don't have it, that's fine. You're better keeping your hands in this position with your arms over your head versus your arms straight, but they're not anywhere near your head. So if you can, lock everything where you can pull up tall, where you can keep your elbows locked, great. But if this is what you have to do, this is fine too. The position that we're going to be sitting in is what's called rock pose, which means you're going to sit on your heels. Now the reason that they call it rock pose is because this is a digestive point that you're hitting with your heel hitting that bone on your buttocks. That stimulates that point, which aids in digestion. So next time you've got an upset tummy, sit like this and see if the upset goes away. So you sit in this position. If this is uncomfortable for you to do, put something under your feet so that it doesn't hurt your ankles, or you can even put something underneath your legs in upper thigh here so that when you sit down, it'll kind of elevate you a little bit. But you're really trying to get that stimulation on that point. Now, this is the position to sit in. The next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be reciting Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, over and over and over again. As we recite it, you're going to be, as you say Sat, if you put your hand on your belly button and then just come about an inch or so underneath, this is what we call the navel point. This is what we're trying to stimulate. So what you'll be doing is that when you say the word Sat, you'll be sharply pulling backwards and up. So you'll be pulling in this direction with your belly. That will create the projection of Sat. So when we say it, we go Sat, belly comes in. Sat, 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 Sat. So on Sat, pulling in sharply. On Nam, it's said a little bit quieter and the belly relaxes. So if it's Sat, it's Nam and the belly comes out. Nam, 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 Nam. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Okay, that's the rhythm. And that's about how it goes. It goes about 8 cycles or so per 10 seconds. So it's a little less than once a second, but it's that rhythm. I'll keep us on the rhythm, and that's about the rhythm that you want to use for it. So you'll be sitting tall. I've already described to you what the mudra is. So the hand position is that. So again, guys and girls, you're a little different, so pay attention to what I said in the beginning. This comes up over your head. And again, if you cannot keep your elbows straight, then put a slight bend and keep the hands up over the head. Better than this. This is not quite working the way we want it to, because we're trying to get this energy to draw up through our spine and then out. Your eyes will be closed. You will focus your attention here, so that every single time that your gaze drifts, bring your attention right back through here as we go sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam. It'll make your shoulders hurt a little bit. You may feel some heat. You may feel you're starting to sweat a little bit. You're creating a massive shift internally. So it is worth every effort that you put forth into doing it. So we're going to sit tall, chest out, our chin in. We're going to sit on our heels. We're going to lock our hands down in the positions that I've already told you. Arms are going to come up over our head. If you can keep the elbows straight, please do so. If you cannot, bend them, but keep your hands up over your head. You do not want to, see my palms together? You do not want this. See this gap? This is lazy. This is lazy. Do not do that. Squeeze them together. So if that means that you have to squeeze your hands together to do that, then do that. Make it happen. Squeeze them together. Eventually what will happen is you'll build up the strength in the shoulders to get this to rotate outward, because this is what you're looking to do. People will say you want to draw your shoulder blades together, but what you're really doing is you're taking your upper arm and you're getting it to rotate out. Because what that does is that automatically brings your scapulas back into position. So when you're up in this position, if you think of just rotating this arm this way, and then the hand comes up, that's going to do it. So externally rotating the upper arm brings it up into this position, up over our head, and then we join the other side, and then we can begin. So 3 to 5 minutes. Again, I'm not going to time us, but I want you to get the rhythm, so you can understand how this massive Kriya works for us. Cornerstone of Kundalini Yoga, Sat Kriya. Get ready. Sit on your knees. Sit tall. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the brow point. And let us begin. And again, it's a pulling in sharp with Sat. So pulled in sharp, Sat, and then Nam, Nam. Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. Okay? That's how it goes. Here we go. Sat, Nam, 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 sat, nam. And when you're done, for whatever length of time you set for, you take in a nice deep inhale and hold the breath and squeeze. So inhale deep, stretch to your maximum, bring your arms up as high as they possibly can go, stretching to your maximum, holding the breath, hold it as long as you can, and then you'll exhale sharply, and then you'll inhale, and then exhale all the air out, and then with no air in your lungs, do the same thing, squeeze. No air in your lungs, holding the breath out, hold tight, squeeze everything, apply the root lock, and then inhale, relax the arms down, and then you lay down. And you lay down for the exact amount of time that you've done the Kriya for. Ideally, you'll double it. So if you've done it for 3 minutes, lay down for a minimum of 3 minutes, ideally 6. You do it for 5 minutes, lay down for 5, ideally for 10. Key things to remember when you're doing it. When you're pulling it in, you're not shouting sat. You're pulling in sharply. And by pulling in sharply, you're creating that vibration, that forward vibration. So when you use your navel point and you want to have your point come across to somebody, when you use this point, it's not a shout. It's a way that you can direct the attention of what it is that you're trying to say. The pinpointedness. So it's sat. So it's not shouting sat. And then the nam is just the allowing it to just come back out. So sat brings it in, nam, relax. Sat, nam, sat, nam, sat, nam. Cornerstone of Kundalini Yoga. Try it, feel the experience of it, and you won't be disappointed. As with all of these Kundalini meditations and Kriyas, use it to your best advantage, share it with others, learn, experience, and grow from it. This is a gift that you can take with you, and it won't fail. So, be well. Sat Nam.